talking about AI is helping in many cases around here, especially for myself as a student. It's quite different to the way I studied when I was way back in Zimbabwe. I remember as a student at that time, during my time, there were no computers. There was no technology whatsoever. We did everything by manual writing and studying and cramming. It had to be in your head. Whereas these days, I've got most of my notes on my mobile phone, and everything is within reach. You can just type anything on Google. You can just type anything on ChatGPT, which has become my second teacher.
Welcome, Mom, to the ICT Minds Podcast. This is truly an honor to host my own mom on this podcast. I'm the happiest child in the world right now. So basically, Mom, we are going to be talking about ICT technology, and you being a student right now, concluding your undergrad. I'm hoping to get some insights on what's happening in the European academic system, the differences, and all that stuff. So without further ado, please, Mom, introduce yourself to the audience. Yeah, let them know about who you are.
Oh, thank you, Admire. Hi, everyone. My name is Rosemary. I'm Rosemary Bgernova. And as Admire has already introduced me as his mom, I'm his mom, proud mom of one son and one daughter. So yeah, it's nice to be here. Thank you.
Wow. Mom, I've started a podcast in 2022, and I've been saying, Mom, please come to my podcast. What drove you to grace me with your presence on this one?
I guess it's nice to support your own, and also to just share the little that I know and engage with you on your platform. I think it's a different environment to what we're used to. We're used to our WhatsApp chats, and we're used to our texting, and we're used to our phone calls. So this is something different, and it will be nice to see how we do on a different platform from the usual norm.
Yes. Wow. It was hectic for me to get used to the camera as well. I used to be shy, but I also got to learn to be comfortable, especially in the visual medium. So please, can you share with me a bit about life abroad, what it's like, the technology part, the business world, or the workplace environment? What are the major differences between life abroad and back home in Zim?
Thank you, Admire. I would like to say the first world is quite connected technologically. The technology is very robust and very sound, and their systems are so connected, and they work hand in glove with each system. Like, take for example the NHS, which is the health sector, the biggest health sector in the United Kingdom. Is so connected to the police network, connected to the social services, connected to, I can say, to the housing. All the systems are interlinked. So like if someone goes to the hospital, if they are wanted anyway, the system will just, there'll be red flags everywhere. So that's one thing about Europe. Even if you are stopped by a police officer, their cars has got systems that are connected everywhere. By the time they stop you, they would have known that you don't have MOT, or you don't have insurance, or you don't have a driver's license, or you are a prohibited immigrant. So that is just the way the systems work here. They are so connected, and they are very efficient. And talking about AI is helping in many cases around here, especially for myself as a student. It's quite different to the way I studied when I was way back in Zimbabwe. I remember as a student at that time, during my time, there were no computers. There was no technology whatsoever. We did everything by manual writing and studying and cramming. It had to be in your head. Whereas these days, I've got most of my notes on my mobile phone, and everything is within reach. You can just type anything on Google. You can just type anything on ChatGPT, which has become my second teacher.
So what are some of the things you ask ChatGPT? Give us like practical examples.
With ChatGPT, there's no limit. You can just ask I can even ask, what can I eat tonight? What would you suggest I eat tonight? It can tell you anything. With ChatGPT, you can ask the silliest question. It can bring a whole lot of answers to choose from. So I can't point anything. I can say, even if I want to write an email or if I want to ask a question, I can say, how can I ask this question in a professional manner? Or how can I ask this question in a friendly manner? Or how can I ask this question in a way that is not intimidating to the person? It will give you different maybe 3 or 4 suggestions that you can use. So that's ChatGPT for you. Yeah.
Awesome. And what can be the possible dangers of AI? Maybe that we cannot see today, but can become a real threat in the future from your experience with AI?
I think for my own experience, if you are not very careful, AI can teach people to be lazy, because you can find everything just by typing one word. It will bring a variety of options. So I think the first thing is you have to, especially for students, you have to be a keen learner, because with ChatGPT, it can just do all the work for you. You don't have to go that extra mile to research. You don't have to do that critical thinking sometimes. It can just bring the options for you. So it's very easy and very tempting to just go and ask a ChatGPT without even thinking yourself. So I think it's taking away the option for people to think. It's removing critical thinking, and it's removing, what can I say, thinking on the job, thinking on the spot. People are leaning more towards AI, because it's not only about ChatGPT, it's about other things as well. There's a lot to technology than just ChatGPT that is promoting laziness.
Dude, I hope I won't become lazy, because I've been leaning towards ChatGPT, DeepSeek.
It's easy to become lazy without even realizing. It's quite easy. You can just be lazy because you can ask anything, even shopping. What do you suggest I go and shop today? What do you think is not the best option? What do you think I need to avoid to stay healthy? So these are the things that people would research, or the things that people would go and look like at a bottle in a shop. You would look at the ingredients. You can just type in ChatGPT and ask, what are the ingredients in the Worcestershire sauce? Do I need to avoid it, or do you think it's good? Or everything can just come just by typing. You get all the information, which I think is not very good, because we are getting, what I can say, information overload. Like some of the things that are really not necessary. And also, just to bring into your attention that sometimes ChatGPT is not as accurate as we think. So sometimes you don't need to over rely upon it, because some people have had their assignments marked wrong from the information they got from ChatGPT. So after getting all the work done with ChatGPT, you have to go and verify, which I think sometimes is double work. Like, especially for myself, when I am working on my assignments, I don't tend to learn much on ChatGPT, because some of the information is not as accurate as sometimes the tutors would like it to be. It can go on its own tangent sometimes. And also some of the times you have to think about things like, especially in my studies, the studies that I'm on now, sometimes the policies or the legislations or the things that are UK based are different to American based. So it can give you a framework of something that's American based. And if you don't verify and you submit like that, that's very easy to know. And also the other thing is universities and colleges now have censored Turnitin. Turnitin can pick up if this assignment has been done by AI. That's one thing, because there are some words that are more prominent when you are using ChatGPT. Words like undermine, underscore. There's a whole lot. You can check them. The words that are mostly used by ChatGPT, and these words are censored in Turnitin. So Turnitin is now has now been censored to pick up if someone has used ChatGPT for their assignment.
Wow. I have this feeling that AI is like guidance and counseling. Everyone has got their special experience with AI. So I believe that if you ask this person about AI, you get a complete different experience. So thank you for sharing your experience. Yeah, I believe that you are concluding your undergrad studies right now. Can you share a bit about that, where you are studying, and what the major lessons were over the past years that you've been studying? Just pretend like you're advising someone who is in first year, the lessons that we have learned.
My experience with studying with the young generation is that they've grown up with this technology, they, especially here in the UK, they grow up with these gadgets, and they know they can search stuff very fast, and they can find information very quickly. They know how to use technology, which is different to my generation. I didn't grow up using technology on a day-to-day basis. I only got to learn about computers when I started working, and that was after I had you. That was after I had all my children. That's when I started learning how to use a computer, which is different to the people here. They are born in houses where gadgets are lying around in the house. You can just take an iPad, you can take a tablet, you can use a phone. They've got computers, desktops, they've got everything. You see, even now you find that even in a car, the cars are computerized. Some of the cars, they don't have any buttons on the dashboards now. It's all about computers. So this is a computer generation. And being an elderly student, at first I found that quite intimidating, because people would just quickly search things, and before the tutor says anything, they know exactly where to go. And I would be lagging behind and looking like, what did he say? And also with the language barrier, here I'm in Scotland, and the Scottish English is just something else. When you come to Scotland for the first time, you ask yourself, is this the English that I learned at school? Because the Scottish English is the Scottish English is quite different to the Queen's English. They call it the Queen's English. So the Queen's English is the English that we learn in Zimbabwe, because we are a former British colony, and we learn English. But when you move over to Scotland, it's a different story. It's a different story. I struggled to understand what they were saying at first, let alone being behind it technologically. So I had a lot of learning to do, and I'm glad I've managed to sort of fit in. And sometimes I struggle. There are some who still have very deep Scottish accents that I struggle with, but some of the words I'm now familiar, the words like kane, aye, they are words that are used on a day-to-day basis, like home, they say hem, like girl, they say lassie, boy, it's a lad, things like that. So they will be speaking very quick as well if someone talks very fast. So you see, I've got the language barrier and I've got the technological barrier. So I had to work double time, but I think I've managed to catch up.
Yeah. It seems like you're doing very well. And you are a fast learner, eh? Can you say you're a fast learner or you are a slow learner?
I wouldn't see myself as a fast learner. I think I am in between, because to start with, there is the technological gap that was there. And then secondly is the age factor, that as you grow older, you are not as fast as the younger generation. So I had to up my game in a short space of time. But I'm glad I've managed to get somewhere where I'm comfortable and where I can engage at a better pace and where I understand things better. So also with the help of technology, I can always go back. So like some of the lessons are recorded, some of the lessons are on YouTube. I can just go and type something and say, I want to learn about this. and it comes up. And also, in these first world countries, Wi-Fi and internet is not a problem. So there's that room for searching stuff and for research and for getting into depth, because here we are encouraged to go on self-learning at uni. So there's a lot of time that is dedicated to self-learning. So I would catch up on self-learning and educate myself.
Okay, as we are concluding the podcast, what is your dream for Africa and Zimbabwe? And since you were recently in Zim, what have changed? What insights have you decoded from being on the ground? And what has become your vision for Zimbabwe and Africa at large?
My vision for Zimbabwe would be to see a world where technology is easily accessible, especially for young children, because I can see that the children that are over this side, they learn very quick and they learn at a younger age. Like the wee boy that I live with here, he is less than 2, he's less than 3, but he can count up to 10. He can count from 10 backwards to 0. And he knows the alphabets A to Z. It's because of exposure. He's always hearing when he opens the telly or when he goes on his gadgets, he can access the cartoons with alphabet songs, and there's A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So he sings those, which is different to the children in Africa. When I went over there, I saw a child who's nearly 4, doesn't know anything about alphabets. Can read up to 8, and they struggle to get up to 10, which is different here. Here, the children, they know the colors at a very young age. They know the foods, they know the numerals, they can read, they can write, they can recite the alphabets. Some of those things, they know and they learn those things at a very young age, that by the time they go to start their primary school, they are way, way advanced. So it's because of technology and it's because of exposure, which is quite different to Africa. And also is the affordability of these gadgets, because even if the gadgets are available, and it's about the internet access, Wi-Fi access. Here, Wi-Fi, you get Wi-Fi everywhere. When you get onto a train, there's Wi-Fi. When you get on a bus, there's Wi-Fi. In your car, you've got Wi-Fi. At home, you've got Wi-Fi. At work, you've got Wi-Fi. It's not like in Zimbabwe or in other countries. When you get to work, it's hard to get a Wi-Fi password. You can't get it because once everyone gets the password, they're not working anymore. They're concentrating on downloading their stuff, chatting with their friends, because they can only get that access when they are at work. So now the workplaces tend to limit access to the passwords, which is different to here. So I would really like to see a world where everyone gets internet access, where internet is not like the wow thing. Which will not say, oh yeah, as soon as I get to work, your attention is on getting to work and downloading whatever you want to download and work on whatever and send the messages that you want, which is very unproductive, because that takes away the production time. So if everyone had internet everywhere and if everyone had access everywhere, that would be a different story, which is the way of life here. The moment you move into a house, the first thing you do is you change your electricity provider, you change your internet provider, you change your television license, and you change your address for your driver's license. Those are the things that everything is available. And also because of lack of facilities, when I come to Zimbabwe, I'm so disheartened to see that the things that doesn't need to cost us time, they do cost us time. Things like just mere washing clothes, laundry. Here you can just put your clothes in the washing machine, and as I'm chatting to you, my laundry is running, my kettle is boiling, and my dishes are in the dishwasher, of which in Zimbabwe, you get the water, you come back, you do the dishes outside. It's such a mammoth task. You have to get all the clothes. You need to go and wash the clothes, do the laundry. Even for your bathing, for your shower, for your washing, your personal grooming, you need to go somewhere, get the water, and come back with the water. So it's those things that should be just easily accessible That takes a lot of time, and it's just unproductive because it's taking unnecessary time off people's hands.
Okay, lastly, what trends can you advise people, especially young people back home, technology trends that you are predicting that they will become very important, especially in earning income, maybe on a daily basis, and also in being productive as a student, as a worker, or as a business owner? What platforms have you seen that they are beginning to become a big thing?
I would say LinkedIn. You need to be LinkedIn.
Mhm.
If you are to connect with people that matter and people that will give you a proper direction, I think first of all, anyone who's job searching or anyone who wants to find meaningful connections, you need to be connected with the real people on LinkedIn, and you need to know also how to use X, because a lot of meaningful chats and meaningful information is discussed at X than Facebook, because these days Facebook, I think, is just about negative talk, and there's a lot of hate speeches, hatred. People we have never met become worst enemies on Facebook, and there are people who are good at slandering, people who are good at passing negative comments, which is to a certain degree not that much on X. So I would say X, and I would say LinkedIn, and I would also say getting familiar with ChatGPT, because ChatGPT is not only about searching about information. There's a lot more to ChatGPT than people would realize. But I understand that in some countries, like third world countries, some of these options are limited. But it's a good start just to know what's available in your region. Make use of it, because ChatGPT makes life easier. Where would you have done 100 miles? If you know the correct way to use ChatGPT, you might end up doing 80 or 50 miles. So I would say ChatGPT is the way the world is going. Though some people resist change, some people resist technology when it first comes, because I can relate with the way people were so negative about microwaves. But now you find that in nearly every house, especially here in Europe, nearly every house has got a microwave. And some people were so skeptical about laptops and emails. And there are some people who up to now don't have an email address. So there will always be people who are very, very negative to change, and who doesn't want change, and who doesn't like to change. They are always old school. But with this technology, that's where the world is going, and it will make life easy. And it's your choice to make use of this available technology and work smarter, or shun everything and work harder, which I wouldn't want to, especially with my brain. It's now old and foggy. I'll just make use of AI as much as I can, and make use of technology, and make use of all the trends that are coming in that can best help me. Because believe me, technology has got its own dark side as well, but there's always the good side that we will always embrace and make use of for the betterment of day-to-day life.
In closing, this is the last one, and I think the session is just going to end with you answering this one. What's from your own understanding of life and from raising two kids, myself and my sister, what have you come to believe that can be a way a person can become successful, like your theory of how a person can become successful?
What I think is a person's mindset is the most powerful tool in the direction that you will take. So it's all in the mindset, the programming, the information you put in, the company you keep,